Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. Welcome to our 7 Spires Discography Album Ranking Review. I'm Jason, with me is Bill.
I made it somehow.
And Tim.
Yo ho!
And hopefully this isn't your first time here. If it is, we are a playlist link channel.
And that's Jason.
Yeah, he's Jason.
Well, yeah. I'm Jason, but you already know that because you probably have been watching our previous 3 albums. If not, we are a playlist link channel down. You can click the link down below and catch up to where we're at. This is our current rankings. Bill's the only outlier, but not by much. And we are going to talk A Fortress Called Home, which came out last year. Go check out our 2024 Album of the Year series, because we briefly talk about it in there too. But we get to revisit it now. Who wants to start this one? I'll start it if nobody else wants to start it.
Yeah, feel free.
All right. Fortress Called Home. Opening track. Can you guess what it is?
Instrumental.
It's an instrumental. Which, when I first heard the album when it was released, that was cool. But 4 albums in, it kind of loses a little bit of its charm. Still, though, it sets the album up nicely, flows really well into his songs upon wine-stained tongues. It's okay. I'm still not a fan of the throat singing, but the pretty parts are pretty. Almost Town, I still love that one. Still a top song. Impossible Tower, it's slower, it's heavier. I still hate the vocals on the verses. Still super impressive vocals, just not my taste. It's also a little on the long side, but whatever. Love Souvenir still sounds like cartoon Pink Panther for me. That's not a knock. I mean, it's super sexy in parts. You know, it's that Pink Panther. Ding, ding, ding. Architect, it's fine. Portrait of Us, it's fine. Emerald Necklace, super clean production. Still a highlight for me in the discography. No Place for Us still kind of reminds me of Ghost. Where Sorrow, House of Lies, heavier. If you remove the keys, it would be some really dark shit. And the closing track, hands down the best closing track in the discography. Super emotional. They're getting. I think Adrian sounds the best here out of the 4 albums. I think 4 albums in, there's the music and the lyrics fit together better. And this is where I come to my, because this was the first album I heard, and I wasn't a fan at first, but I listened to it a couple more times, and it started to grow on me, and I still think this one shines above, but I have a theory, okay? This was 2017. This was their first album, which means they probably had time to write it, to kind of plan it out a little bit better.
Well, theoretically, he's the guitar player is 16 when this album comes out.
Yeah, I got those dates wrong actually. He got accepted into the university at 15, graduated in 2016. So actually he would have been
Like
born in
19.
97 or 98, one of the two.
Okay.
I did bad math. Oops.
It took them 3 years to follow up with Emerald Seas.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That makes
Well,
sense.
and being an independent artist, sometimes that's just funding.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't think it was just
Because
funding here. I think they actually they were more focused. More, the album length says it all. Like it's a more focused record compared to
Sure. Okay.
the next one that comes out a year later. Right, this thing is bloated musically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like over an hour long. It doesn't feel as cohesive. The music feels The lyrics feel shoehorned into the music. I don't think it was very well planned out. But then you have another 3-year gap with this one, whereas I think, what was that, 2020? 2021. Okay, so it wasn't even COVID. I think they took their time with this one. The lyrics and the music fit together. It tells a more cohesive, like it has a better feeling to it. So
Okay.
I think time has something to play into this.
Well, I mean, I know something else just of note is the band members. So Adrian's been the one writing most of the songs. Um, the guitarist has had some input on a couple of the songs here and there. And actually, this is the first album where they get a new drummer. Um, I would say personally, I think the drums sound the best on this album. I could be in the minority with that.
No, I'd agree with that.
Um, but yeah, that's it. Just like especially watching like music videos stuff like that. I know it's not them actually. You're not hearing them when you're watching the music video, but like he's looks like he's actually doing some pretty cool stuff. Kind of what it just watching the videos. I could be dead wrong, and Tim may look at that and go, "That's he's just doing it really fast, and it's not crazy." Shut up, Bill.
I mean, I haven't seen the video, so I'll have to watch that. But
Um,
yeah, but I mean, listening to it, yeah, I mean, this is one of the stronger drum albums in their catalog for sure. I didn't know it was a different drummer. Um, and stylistically, it's not that different from the
no,
previous albums. So,
I mean, listen, I mean, still Adrian writing all the songs. Is still Jack doing all the producing and co-writing some of the songs with them with her.
okay. Okay.
Um,
There were more guests on this one though.
yes, there were a lot more guests on this one.
Yeah, they had some guest vocals on here. Nobody I
Because
knew, but
no, we'll say because they had some guest vocals also on Gods of Debauchery. No, this one they had. Well, that's the other thing for the gatefold on this guy. My background's gonna mess it up. You have Jack, Peter, and Adrian all on one side as those three, and then you got the drummer portrait at the top, single on the row, then with the double row of all the guests below him, or double column of all the guests below him.
yeah,
And
man.
who are some of the guests?
Fuck them drummers, man. They don't
Uh,
deserve to be part of the band.
Alessandro Conti, Jason Onick, David David Eckerson, Angela Eckerson, Tristan Starkey, and Ty Christian. Vocals, violin, guest lead vocals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're finally actually bringing in characters or a chorus?
Well, they've had, let's say they had guest vocals before. I just didn't bring them up or note them.
Sure. Well, then, yeah. I mean,
There was an excessive amount on this one, so much where like one of them was credited for main vocals, which was kind of weird. But I think if you could take this story and you had the guest vocals like do the voices of different characters, like there's just a better way to tell the story.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I mean, oh. This one I felt like was the easiest for me to get the story with, though.
Yeah, I mean it feels like it's tied in, but it's not. You don't have to hear the rest of it, what comes before, to understand
Let's
this.
say this could be its own.
Yeah.
That's say this independent of the other three from the story. This would be like a spin-off, right? Knowing the original story helps, but you don't need to know it to enjoy it.
It's like 3 albums of background to this album. But hearing the previous 3 records, but after hearing this one, it kind of detracts from this one because there's not a lot of growth. There's a little bit of difference, but not enough to. I still think they're going in the right direction, but it doesn't stand out as much after you've heard all of them. If that makes sense. Like if we could go back to 2024, I'd probably pull a mulligan and put Deep Purple as my number 10.
But I would definitely still stand where I have it. Go check out 2024 to see where I put this guy.
And is it just me, or well, I guess we'll get to that when we get to Isidore.
I mean, I'll quickly run through my thoughts on this. I mean, say I bought the vinyl. This was the first vinyl I ever bought. For those of you that are unaware, I, in my opinion, the only song that I've ever considered skipping or would skip on this guy would be Architect of Creation. Be the only one I would skip. My favorite side is definitely side C, which is Portrait of Us, Emerald Necklace, and Where Sorrows Bear My Name. That being said, I have no issue flipping over to side D with No Place for Us, House of Lies, and The Old Hurt. Does that... I mean, Jason, yeah, you nailed it. That is the best closing track in this discography.
Hands down, easily the best closing track.
But it's an amazing top song contender with that too. And that being said, I felt like actually the intro 2 songs, Fortress Called Home and Songs by Weinstein Tongues, I still feel like that's probably the best opening instrumental in track 2 in the discography too as well.
I would probably agree. I think so. I think that's the best opening.
That's and then side A ends with Almost Town, goddamn great finish to a side.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If I got the vinyl, A side would be pretty lit, as the kids say.
I mean, that's the only side I potentially have issue with. It's not so much I have issue. It's my low side. Is side B with Impossible Tower, Love Souvenir, and Architect. That being said, I won't skip it. If I want to listen to the whole album, sure, I'll put on side B. I have no issue doing that. I still love all those songs. Just I might cut off before Architect, but even then I probably wouldn't.
I appreciate that's the second thing I was going to say is the albums that they took the most time between records are their shortest records as well. A Fortress and Emerald are their shortest records, and those are the ones that is 3 years before the previous album.
I didn't actually look up runtimes, but that makes sense.
I think they focused in more and
well, and that is certainly one of the downsides to digital home recording is things can get bloated real easily. And you could all of a sudden you've got a stockpile of stuff, and yeah, so one of the things that I miss about vinyl and even cassettes or hell, even CDs is there is a physical limitation to how much music you can put on there. And so you better make it good.
Not to go off topic, but I swear I was just having this exact conversation with somebody about video games and Mega Man and how they limited themselves with Mega Man 9 to say, no, we're going to make a 8-bit NES game, and it was 2010, and they limited themselves with the NES color palette, and limitations breed innovation.
That's right.
Because you're stuck.
You have to work within these boundaries. How can you get creative with that?
Mm-hmm. And even beyond that, it's like you have to accept limitations and be like, well, I mean, I might hear something in my head that sounds bigger and grander, but I can't do it.
I mean,
Physically can't be done.
how many records that you go out and get a vinyl record from the last 20, 30 years and it's a double album, but on CD it's one album. But then if you
Right.
go back to like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it's like you bought an album, it was one disc. It was
Mm-hmm.
rare that a double album existed. Like they contained it to that limitation
Because
of
that was the
cost
bloated, like
and
we had way too much time in the studio. Yeah.
like the Beatles' White Album.
Mhm. Which you could be argued is bloated and they had too much time in the studio.
We'll get to that argument. I disagree.
I would disagree too. I'm just saying. I mean, there's a
But
little
yeah,
bloat on there.
there's an
I
argument for
will
that.
say there's some bloat on there, but
Well,
you know,
there's one track that could have been left off.
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there, Rocky
Okay.
Raccoon.
Mm-mm. Rocky Raccoon is not it. I'm talking number 9. Number 9.
Oh, I knew you were. I knew you were. But I mean, I'd take that over Obla Di Obla Da.
Fuck no. Oh, Beatles, y'all gotta subscribe because it's gonna get nasty up in here when we get to the Beatles. Shit. Can't fuck with it. Man, that's Corky's song, dude.
Maybe. Is that why I hate it so much?
Bill's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? You don't remember Corky.
Yep.
Obladi, oblada, life goes on. It was an 80s sitcom.
Yeah. Which was just ripping off the Wonder Years.
I thought it was before. Well, that's a Beatles discussion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you noticed they used Joe Cocker's version, though, didn't they?
Right.
He
But then
fucking-
ultimately, it's all, what else was up there? 30 something? We're talking boomer TV here.
Yeah, but the Wonder Years was a good show, man. I had my Winnie Cooper.
So was Corky. I remember that being a pretty good show, and he's got a ripping band.
Corky?
Corky's got a band, and they rip. I'll send you a link.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I want to hear that. I wonder what happened to Corky.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck. Anyway, Fortress called home 7 Spires. Tim, what you got?
You guys covered it mostly. It feels a little more concise than the last one. But yeah, I don't hear much growth. It feels like the guest vocalists were just there to do something different, but it ended up being the same. And so then you get into the ultimate metal question, right? Like let's bring back the metal. Everybody loves Slayer. Nobody's going to deny that Slayer's not a metal band. But they're also kind of the poster boy for putting out the same album every time. Now, I know among my metal friends, that's the ultimate conversation. It's like, yeah, you can't deny that they're awesome. But if you're ranking them, like, they're kind of putting out the same album every time. And so you're going to have your favorites depending on where you got in, where you maybe dropped off, maybe where you saw them live.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you're getting the same thing every time. And a new Slayer album comes out, which they're done. There will be no more Slayer albums, but you know what you're getting before you even hear it. You know exactly what you're going to hear.
Yeah, I mean, that's the argument is because I say there's no growth here.
Yeah.
They're only 4 albums in, but like if Dinosaur Jr. is putting out a record, I'm going to buy it I'm going to buy it immediately. But I'm going in knowing there's not going to be any growth. It's going to be a Dinosaur Jr. album.
Well, and
I'm gonna
that's,
love it.
I mean, I guess that transcends genre even then. It's like, okay, would I rather have an artist just put out the same album that works every time? Or would I like to see growth? And the musician in me likes to see growth. Yeah, I might like the other album more, but I want to hear you try something new.
Yeah, but
You
there's a
know,
lot
I
of
want
bands that
you to
try
take
something new and it
chances, and I
fucking
want you to.
sucks.
That's okay. I'd rather something new that sucks over a. Well, we know this is going to be a radio hit.
Yeah, I mean it's because I'm the same way with Green Day. I love it when they try something different. I hate it
Right.
when they
But you
just
also know
do
that they're going to put out that, well, we know this one's going to be a hit.
right. And yeah, I mean, so it's different argument. It's Seven
Yeah,
Spires though.
and it is. It's the ultimate like question, not only on musical integrity, but just musical like growth. It's like, and music listeners are terrible people, and we're all music listeners, so I wonder what that makes us. But um, people do. They just want the same thing every time. They want to listen to "Smells Like Teen Spirit" and "Gone Away" and what that Papa Roach song,
Inner
and they're good.
Sandman.
Last
Yeah,
resort.
exactly. Um, yeah, love Black Sabbath. They do Paranoid, right? Ozzy's got that great song, Crazy Train. Yeah, you're right. But he's got so much more, too. And some of it works and some of it doesn't.
Yeah, but that's so much more. It could just be more of the same.
It could. But then it's like, okay, well, then do I even care? Would I rather listen to the good one?
I don't know, man.
So this whole discography really did. And maybe I'm just hitting that point where I'm questioning, my musical tastes and what I think of music. But I've also sitting here on, 30 plus years of having an opinion on music.
This is a hard one to rank because this was the newest album.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first album I heard. It's not a genre that I listen to. So I was impressed. I was like, yeah, okay, I can see the appeal. But then after hearing the 3 previous albums and then hearing this one, it was like some of the charm was gone. Like it's like, well, I've already heard this 3 times previous.
Yeah, and being the odd man out where this wasn't my introduction here. This was the 4th one I heard. And the fatigue was definitely in at this point. And they did nothing to combat that.
Oh, the color code will tell all.
Well, but first we got to rank this.
First,
and I get to guess it.
Yeah.
We give you enough information there, Bill?
I think so.
You good to go?
I think I know where Bill's going to put it, but it's not my turn to guess.
Well, you can guess Bill's.
You can guess mine.
I mean, you're going to put it at number 1, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
First album bias.
Oh,
wow. Shit.
Wow.
So, for me, it's going in at number 2. I'll pencil that in.
Okay.
Color code will tell all. Trust me.
Sure. Okay.
Gosh,
wow.
Both you guys liked it more than Gods of Debauchery. I'm sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right there.
Keep them coming, Gleep Glop.
If I had to guess, I'll throw a curveball out there. I'll say both of you have it at number 1 because Tim liked the drums more on this one, and Jason still has that bias from before.
You're incorrect for me.
A number 2 then for you?
Number 2 for me is correct, yes.
I see it. I'm not going to disagree with you, Order.
You're correct for me. And my final notes say I think Adrian sounds the best. Actually, I've already said all my fucking final notes. I think they're in the right. I think they're going in the right direction. There's a little bit more variance here, and it was easy. It was more easily digestible than the previous. I think the runtime helps a lot.
Here's just hoping the next one is in 3 years and not next year.
Well, yeah, we'll see how many shows they're playing. I see them; they're doing like pretty good. You know,
Yeah, they're doing. Well, I looked at a
they're
lot of
not on a
shows. They're
label.
up.
What label is that one on? You've got the vinyl in front of you. Is this like
Yeah.
on a real label or
Oh, Frontiers.
okay?
Is that
Yeah,
one?
that's a real label.
Yep. Frontiers. Actually, I want to say they're all on Frontier if I remember right.
Wow.
All
Okay.
the
Okay.
vinyl.
Tim brought up an interesting point though. Like, how would you even market this band?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're
I
not
mean,
Unless you're
radio.
just going purely off image, and even then, like, okay, there's a market for that, but I don't think this fits that market.
I mean, I'll be honest. I like castles. I saw a castle. I went, "Ooh, what's this?"
We'll get to that artwork. We'll get to that artwork.
First, we got a color code though.
Yeah. What's the colors, Bill? Because I'm still
Oh, I'm starting.
this is where I've been fucked up. I don't know how to color code this.
So I might ease this a little bit. So I'm going to color code kind of like with how we got it with this band. I'm going to color code based on entry point. On what like, hey, how you should enter and start listening to Seven Spires. Which is why I'm going to have Gods of Debauchery as yellow.
Okay.
So I think that one, like, yes, everything is very similar to the rest of it, but I feel like this one is the most poppy. It's the most different in a not
Poppy?
good way.
And besides Lightbringer, this one's pretty.
I'd argue there's more pop in that second half, the way you're looking at.
Yeah.
At least when I was listening to it, that's what I got. That being said, I am going to go green for the first three. Plus, I don't want to be boring and put them all green, so that's just boring.
Right,
I feel like there's definitely a tiering difference between the first, second, and fourth album compared to that third album. Like there's a definitive step between them. Would I still listen to Gods of Debauchery? Absolutely. But I have to differentiate somehow. And I don't think Seven Spires quite hits that Ramones gold bar.
Because I'm torn here. Because, like, there's nothing bad here. There's nothing.
So no Nickelback.
Oh, no. There's no Nickelback. There's no Avoid, really. Like, there's no musically. If you just play it in the background, like, it's not going to piss you off. Like, it's not bad, but it's not good either. Like, it's like I kind of just want to go yellow across the board.
I mean, I would get that.
And that's kind of like, it's not for me, but I could see the appeal if you like that type of music, how you would love it. Like, if you like, I mean, I thought if you like Ghost, you'd like this. Yeah, there's no riffs, but do you come to Ghost for riffs? Or do you come for Ghost for the theatrical Lucifer Papa saga? If you come to it for that, I could see you liking Seven Spires. The storytelling's there. The Adrian's vocals are just, I cannot stress it enough. She's one of the best vocalists I heard. Emily in Linkin Park ain't got shit on Adrian. Like,
oh God, no. It's not even comparable.
I mean, if anything, I think the band, or not even the band, because they're good too, but I think the how it's presented is holding her back.
I mean, she has gone on to do some other stuff with other groups and some solo stuff. while still doing Seven Spires.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is her outlet to tell her story, but like I think that story could be told in better ways. But it's not bad, but it's not something that I would listen to
I mean, I could
on
definitely
my own.
respect that. Now we get confused heavy metal Tim.
Yeah, and I feel like that Pawn Stars meme. Best I can do is
I mean, nothing's Nickelback on this, right? Like,
I don't
there's
know.
nothing
I
that
don't
you
think so.
were.
I don't think it's Nickelback, but I don't think there's yellow on here even. I think I got to go red across the board.
Okay, boomer.
Call me what you will, but again, like I don't know who this would appeal to.
I don't know what I am though, so that doesn't help.
And yeah, you guys
Confused
watch the show.
middle-aged
If
men.
you're
That's what it
down with
appeals
Bill,
to.
you know what you like, and there, yeah, the musicianship here is fine. The production is fine. The storytelling is convoluted but ambitious. I do like that we all very clearly have a bottom, but nobody can agree on where the top is.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I will say this though. I can recommend this band, and I have recommended this band to a coworker who he's around Bill's age, and he listens to all that clean produced, angry rock, metal, punk that came out in like the late 2010s.
sure.
And I'm like, have you heard Seven Spires though? I think you really, he loves Coheed and Cambria. I'm like, I think you'd really
Okay.
like Seven Spires. Like, go check them out. So shout out Cam. But yeah, I mean, that's who I'd recommend it to. I wouldn't recommend it to people our age or people even my kids' age. Like my kids were like, "What the fuck is this? This is just Ghost," and they hate Ghost. So
Yeah, see, and I didn't get any Ghost from this. Ghost actually feels like a metal band to me. Even at their poppiest, it's like, okay, but like I could tell they listen to metal. This feels like a bunch of people who don't listen to metal.
yeah, I mean, I never like said I'm getting some Sabbath vibes.
Or even, yeah, like, yeah, there's like, other than presentation, it's hard to find metal influence here. It's very show tunesy. It's very Disney. It's very like even the name and the artwork. I either want some pirate metal or some castle power metal, something.
Castle Power
Just
Metal.
don't get
Castle
it.
Power Metal. What is Castle Power Metal?
I mean, Hammerfall's pretty close. Man of War. Yeah, like it's out there. Yeah.
Castle
Hey.
Power.
Yeah.
It ain't no Mickey Mouse metal, man. You just got to get on board with Mickey Mouse metal. Add it to the iceberg.
Some Hannah Montana metal. Some Christian death metal.
All right, well, we got top songs coming up. It's going to be tricky because there's only 4 albums and we all kind of talked about the same songs, so might be some thievery going on here. Stick around for that. We're going to talk about the artwork. Is it art? You know what we do. We'll be about 3 beers later by the time we get to that, so it'll be fun. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Check out our playlist link down below. We've covered a lot of different bands, a lot of different genres. So, yeah.
And let us know Have you heard this band? What else do you listen to?
Yeah, let us know your rankings
Help.
down below. All three of us have
Just
different
remember,
outcomes.
every comment you leave can help Tim become less confused.
Yes, help Tim make
I
sense of
need it in
Seven
my old age.
Spires.
Yeah. In my old age, I just get more and more confused and
That's
despondent and unaware of what is going on around me.
editor's note. Insert picture of old lady walking down the street. Edited to back in my day, metalhead riffs. Sure, Grandma.
Damn clouds.
Be safe and make great decisions.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.